service of CNC Worldwide.
The Daily is a service of CNC News and Jib Jab. Greetings, I'm Bud Lowell, your full AccuWeather forecast right across the top of this and all CNC local news pages. Well, Governor Andrew Cuomo put one foot squarely on either side of America's political divide as he delivered his 2013 State of the State address. Cuomo promised to New York that is business-friendly with no new taxes and puts heavy focus on upstate job development. At the same time, the governor said he wants a Women's Equality Act for New York, campaign finance reform, and the nation's toughest controls on high-capacity ammunition clips, the type used in the Sandy Hook and West Webster shootings. Governor Cuomo, who named himself as a gun owner, he owns a Remington shotgun, wants a law banning all magazines that hold more than 10 rounds. He would require people buying a gun from private parties to undergo the same background check required when buying from a gun dealer. He would toughen mental health reporting requirements and impose a uniform standard for issuing pistol permits on all New York counties.
I know that the issue of gun control is hard. I know it's political. I know it's controversial. But we are proposing today common sense measures. And I say to you, forget the extremists. It's simple. No one hunts with an assault rifle. No one needs 10 bullets to kill a deer. And too many innocent people have died already.
Internet ammunition sales would be banned in New York, and ammo purchases would also require background checks. Before the governor's address, Lieutenant Governor Bob Duffy welcomed the families of slain West Webster firefighters Tomas Kashovka and Michael Ciporini to the stage, where the governor presented them with the New York State flag. The governor was also preceded by Rochester Police Chief James Shepard, who said New Yorkers must not allow another family to go through what these have endured.
The past few years, we have been shocked and saddened to see countless lives lost and communities torn apart by gun violence. We have seen too many mothers, fathers, husbands, wives, brothers, sisters, sons, daughters mourn the loss of a family member, and this has got to stop.
State Senate Republican leader Dean Skelos said he favors tougher measures to keep illegally acquired guns out of the hands of criminals. He said no effort against gun violence will work if it fails to address that issue.
Cracking down on the possession and use of illegal guns that are used to commit 90% of the gun-related crimes in New York City and 70% statewide. Illegal guns are the common thread in the tragic stories splashed across the front pages.
Governor Cuomo spent the greater part of his speech talking about jobs and economic development, starting with a push to translate high-tech research discoveries from the lab into commercial products, thus new jobs. He wants 10 innovation hotspots around the state that offer inventors support to grow their businesses in tax-free zones. The governor also renewed his call to reform workers' compensation and unemployment insurance laws to lower the cost of doing business. The governor said the job growth rate for upstate New York is half that for the state as a whole. To fight that, he wants a marketing plan for the entire upstate region, starting with an initiative to push New York products, including duty-free Taste New York stores around the state to promote New York-grown and produced products. And he wants to create 3 destination casinos, resorts for upstate New York. No casinos to be allowed in New York City. Under the proposal, casino gaming revenue would be split 90% for education, 10% for the local property tax relief. Cuomo said local governments and residents should have a big say in where those casinos are built. Most Rochester area Republican Party leaders liked the governor's pro-job, pro-business talk, but didn't have much to say about the more progressive parts of his agenda, including a renewed call for campaign finance reform. Senator Joe Robach of Greece had a pretty typical response.
He clearly, strongly established the understanding that we need to help our economy, which people talk about a lot in our area, jobs, and also that New York State doesn't end at Rockland and Westchester County.
Also, Greece Assemblyman Bill Reilich said New York is turning a corner but needs to keep the focus on the economy. Monroe County Executive Maggie Brooks said the administration's focus on jobs and economic growth is good news for the residents of Monroe County and all across the state of New York. In other news, Irondequoit Assemblyman Joe Morelli has been named Majority Leader of the New York State Assembly. Morelli, who also serves as Monroe County's Democratic Party Chairman, was named by Assembly Speaker Sheldon Silver. The Majority Leader handles the day-to-day operations of the Assembly chamber, including running the floor during debates. Brighton police have identified the woman found dead in the driveway of her home Tuesday as 54-year-old Karen Berg. Her body was found on Riverside Drive by firefighters answering a 911 call. Police say they're still investigating the circumstances, but foul play is not now suspected in Berg's death. And the town of Greece plans special honors for Greece police officer John Ritter for his actions during the West Webster tragedy on Christmas Eve. Officer Ritter will be recognized by Supervisor John Auberger and the town government at the Tuesday meeting, January 15th. Officer Ritter is a 19-year veteran of the Greece PD. Early on December 24, he was on his way to work when he got behind the West Webster fire truck responding to a fire on Lake Road. That fire was set by ex-con William Spengler as an ambush. He started shooting when the truck pulled up to the fire scene, killing the two firefighters and wounding two others. Officer Ritter's car also came under fire. At that time, he found cover, notified law enforcement, and stopped anyone else from coming in range of the gunman. To the left of this player window are links to these and other stories, and at the bottom, links you can use to post us news and information, things that you've written or want us to know about. And because we're a community news resource, we want to see birth and wedding announcements, business openings, all that sort of thing, so post them right to us. Next news is as it happens. Updates are when necessary. I'm Bud Lowell, CNC News.